Styrofoam, hot glue drops, and this special concoction helped me create one of the most dazzling pieces of art for my home. And today I'm going to show you how to make one too. Well, hello, my friend. Welcome back to another video. We're going to jump right on in here. This is an 18-inch MDF circle that I bought at Home Depot for $10. This is a 10-inch mirror that I bought at Hobby Lobby for $5.99. And along with a few simple products, we are going to make one heck of a piece of art today. So I just flipped the mirror upside down on the piece of wood and I laid it where I thought was the center. And then I pulled out my pencil and just traced a circle. I did measure around the edges to make sure there were 4 inches all around. Now, of course, these are the measurements for the 18-inch circle with a 10-inch mirror. You just want to make sure that you get it center. So I kind of eyeballed it, and then I laid the ruler down to check if there was, the same amount of distance or measurement, I should say, around all of the edges. And it was like 4 inches all the way around. And those 4 inches, that is where we're going to do all of our work. Okay. So I got out some gesso. You can use acrylic paint as well if you want to. Got out the gesso and just painted that whole outer border white. If you are a crafter that sells at the craft fairs, this right here is going to be another one that you could add to your inventory, because I'm telling you right now, this comes out so beautiful. There's no way they are not going to sell. Plus, you could sell them or create them, in different sizes as well, which I will be doing and selling at the craft fairs. Moving on, this is called a styrofoam cutter. It heats up. I got it at Hobby Lobby. It comes with these little attachments if you want to do engraving, things like that. It was, I think, $20. I'll put a link for one in the description of this video. But anyway, you plug it in, and this little wire here gets really hot. And what it does is it goes and cuts through styrofoam like a hot knife through butter. And it heats up really quick, like 10 seconds. But moving on, I bought a couple of different sizes of styrofoam balls from Hobby Lobby. And I had this idea to make this really fun design on this board. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to cut them in half. If they're not perfectly flat or they don't sit flat on the surface, I'm going to trim them up a little bit with that wire. They don't have to be perfect, but they have to sit flat. And I did put on gloves because I accidentally touched my finger with that wire and it was hot, let me tell you. But anyway, I got 3-inch balls, 2-inch balls, 1-inch balls, and half-inch balls. They're really inexpensive because they're just styrofoam. And I cut them all in half. Some of them were sold cut in half, but most of them were just round balls. So that's why I needed this tool. However, you don't have to have this tool. You could do it with like an X-Acto knife. It's just a lot easier with the hot wire to do it. The other fun thing about this is that you could take like your leftover styrofoam and kind of carve it and make a piece of art out of that. Like, it has the little attachments I showed you that it came with, but just this wire alone, like you could take some styrofoam and carve it and paint it different colors, make maybe like a geo design with it. As you can see here, you can make a really fun 3D painting with something like this. So yeah, I'm glad I bought that. Anyways, this is how some of them come. I don't know why some are cut in half, some aren't. I guess, people need different things for different projects, but I did have some that were already cut in half. It was basically the 2-inch size and the half-inch size that I had to cut them all in half. When I was done, I had a bowl full of half styrofoam balls ready to go. All different sizes. And what I'm going to do next now before I start gluing stuff down is I'm going to kind of lay out a pattern to see what I like. I had this vision of like a mirror that had bubbles around the outside of it. And spoiler alert, this thing came out so beautiful, especially when I added on the sparkly parts, which you're going to see pretty soon here. Now, this step is optional. I wanted to fill in every little gap, and some of the styrofoam was just too big. So I had these little half pearls. I decided to glue in some spots. And then I also used hot glue drops to fill in some smaller spaces. But here's the thing. If you don't have the styrofoam or the pearls, you could do this with hot glue drops of different sizes and it would look pretty. I will also tell you, if you don't have the round circle or don't want to buy one, you could also use a thick piece of foam board because the styrofoam is so lightweight that the only type of weight that's going to be on that foam board is going to be the mirror, which is not heavy at all. So yeah, if you just want to make one for your home, it doesn't have to be on a hard board. I'm going to do them on the MDF boards because I am going to be selling them and you want to have some kind of quality there. You don't want to go to a craft fair with something built on top of foam board or on top of a piece of cardboard, So these MDF circles work really well from Home Depot. So this is what it looks like after I put down a few of the pearl backs and the styrofoam balls. And now in these other gaps here that are really tight, I'm going to just do some glue drops, some simple glue drops. And again, I really think this would look pretty with just glue drops. And I may actually make one for you with just glue drops in the very near future so you can see just how pretty it would look. I really love to challenge myself using odd things to create art. It's one of my favorite types of art, mixed media, and hoping you'll explore a little bit with it because it is a lot of fun. So now I'm going to do what I just did there all around this entire outer edge, okay? And I'll zip through most of it here because it's just gluing things down. And, you really don't need to see 30 minutes of doing that. But it was pretty quick for me. I'd say it was about 30, 45 minutes to do this 18-inch outer edge. So here we go. How pretty is that? I mean, honestly, if you didn't have the glue drops there that are clear, if you used all pearls, that's pretty in itself. But as you will see, the styrofoam has texture. Now, if you like snakeskin, this can be a plus because it does look like snakeskin. However, I don't want to see any of the texture in that styrofoam or the clear glue drops or the silver pearls that I use. So I'm going to use some gesso to white out the entire thing. Not only is it going to make it all uniform in color, but the gesso will also block out a lot of that texture in the styrofoam itself. Styrofoam is very soft. You can easily bruise it with your fingernail or, like these bigger balls, they had that little stamp on the end of them. So you don't want to see that in your finished work. So what I did was I went over this with a coat of gesso. You really want to pounce that brush good in between each of the little dots because, you want to make sure that nothing is showing. And the biggest tip I could give you is always make sure you paint the underneath first. Like I painted this wood round the white edge. Had I not done that, you'd still be able to see some of the brown underneath because the texture gets in the way of you painting that underneath perfectly. So that's why you must paint it first. Even though you're going to come back and paint it white again, you will be able to see that brown through. So whatever color you're going to make this mirror, you want to paint that underneath the solid color to match it. So if you're going to do black, use black for the bottom. you're going to do blue, paint the bottom blue first, then place all your objects on, paint it all blue. So now I have some beautiful glitters, and I am going to add a bunch of clear glue into the cup that's holding all of those different glitters I just showed you. And we're going to make this really sparkly diamond effect on top of these. Now, you'll notice that big ball right there still. You can still see the dot in the stamp in the bottom there, or the top of it. Once I place this thick concoction over it, you can no longer see it. So if you don't want to add the sparkle to it, make sure you do 2 coats of gesso to cover up all those imperfections. I only did 1 because I knew that I was going to paint this thick stuff on top of it afterwards and you would never see it. So yeah, I have some coarse glitter. I have some interference glitter. I think it was an interference green. And then I also had like a rainbow, like a prism glitter that was white. And I went around and painted that product all over the entire outer edge. And then I let it dry and I did a second coat. Now, I'm not sure if I filmed the second coat here. Let's see. Yes, I did. So here I am. It dried. The first coat dried. I'm putting on the second coat now. And what's different with this layer of the sparkle mixture is that I'm going to sprinkle some white chunky glitter on top of it while it's wet. And that's really going to give it that sparkle crystal diamond look, okay? So while it's wet, we're going to just sprinkle it right on top. And as soon as this is dry, I'm going to show you in the next scene what it looks like. It came out so beautiful. I will make sure to put links for all the products I used and names of the glitters that I used to get this specific effect in the description below. So yeah, I just worked in like 4x4 sections and pasted that stuff on, sprinkled on the glitter, and this is the effect that you get. Adding on that last layer of that chunky white glitter really made it pop. Like you can see the rainbow effect here from the other glitters that I used combined. But that chunky white glitter really, really made it pop. So I told you this was an easy one. Up next, all you have to do is attach your mirror. So for that, I'm going to use some Fix-All adhesive from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to paste it or put it down right in the center of that circle. If you did your measurements right, the mirror should lay right in there and be up close to that outer edge. There should be no gap, okay? So here we go. We're going to put this down right in that spot, and it's perfect. As long as you trace your circle and you work outside of that traced circle, it will all work. This thing is so pretty. I really want to keep this one. I may keep this one and not sell it. You may be asking yourself, how do you hang these things up? Very simple. Buy a couple of command strips and you can just put those on the back of them and stick them up right to the wall. And I think I even have a picture of some command strips for you coming up if you don't know what those are. But yeah, they're very handy. You don't have to put holes in your walls. You just Velcro it right to the wall and it holds it up really well. They have a really great rating on them as long as you use them right, which is not hard to do. I mean, it's 2 pieces of Velcro and some sticky tape. Anyway, look at that sparkle. Oh my, I love it. And again, just because I made this one white doesn't mean you have to do yours all white. You could do any color that you want. And a side note, you can spray paint it, but you would still have to gesso it first to get rid of that texture. So here are the command strips, in case you didn't know what they are. Very easy to use. And here's the final piece. It is just so stinking cute. It is beautiful. It would look great in any little girl's room, I'll tell you that. It'll look great in a powder room, that's for sure. And I'm telling you, I have a feeling these would do good at a craft fair, and I'm going to find out because I'm going to be making some of them. But anyway, that's it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you come back next Sunday. If you did enjoy, please remember to comment, like, subscribe, and share. I love you all. Thank you so very much for joining me. And until the next time, happy creating.